Hello everybody, welcome back to the next part of Alien Isolation. So we just got through watching that, well, not watching, participating in that walking part of that scene with Marlowe. I wanted to let you guys know, this is Solomon's, right, this is mission, so now we're in mission 10. So I guess that must have been, wow, we got to mission 10 quicker than I thought we would. We finished 8. 9 was that. Okay, so that's considered 9. So what you can do is when you get to the end before you activate that part on mission 8, if you don't want to play that again in your next playthrough, just skip mission 9 and go to load mission save and load mission 10, the trap, which is where we are now. That was Beacon we just did. This is where you'll start right before you get the flamethrower. So you don't have to do that whole walking part, mission 9, ever again if you don't want to. But definitely do it the first time. But for consecutive playthroughs, it's nice to be able to skip it. Let me see what else. I'm erasing some of my notes here. Mission 10 will find the Noisemaker version 2 and the Nostromo log number 2. Gonna get the flamethrower here, which is going to be helpful. Okay. So let's go ahead. Can't leave there now. Not yet. I think he has to open this door for us. But we can go do some other things in here now before we interact with him and get the flamethrower. He did take that blueprint he was looking at here. It's not there anymore. So we can go check on Taylor. I was going to mention too, you can see my flashlight's completely empty, my battery power. It's because when I was using the flashlight with Marlowe, in that segment, it counted towards using my flashlight as Amanda, so it emptied it. So I'm going to reload it. Using the flashlight in his segment doesn't matter. It shows that it's turning on or off, but you see no effect in the game, so it's kind of weird. Taylor. Won't let me squeeze in between there. She's facing that way. Nice boots, man. Zipper and everything. She doesn't look any better than she looked, 4 missions ago. These things are cool. Can't interact with them. I really wish the game had a zoom function. Oh yeah, there's a little box back here. Flamethrower fuel 25, flashlight batteries. Okay, that's a good one to find. Very nice. Easy to miss that one since it's facing a different direction. Sevastopol pilot test transmission. She's not even laying like properly on the pillow. So we'll check this out. Wind that door open. Impounded. Week beginning 11/11/2137. Marlowe. Ammunition and weaponry various. Level 3 plasma shear unauthorized. Weyland-Yutani proprietary flight recorder unit. Nostromo. He's the one that brought that on board, which we've already found it early in the game. And it was, what did they say? If it was formatted or it was corrupt. I think it was a corrupted. Marlowe watch, wallet, and personal effects. Suspected contraband medical supplies. Pharmax. Naprolev leave. No duty stamps. they impounded his rig, the Anesidora. Error. Can't look at any of these. It's some kind of parasite.
Wait, it's Dr. Lingard. I've just examined a patient with, well, I've never seen anything like it. Some kind of unknown parasite. I did a quick check on the name they gave me, and there's no one registered under it at Sevastopol. I think she came on board recently. Do you know anything about this? I have no idea what Sinclair and his men were doing, but this should have been picked up during quarantine. Who knows what else they've let through? The patient and her captain are waiting for me in the examination room. Get down here now.
That was the lady we saw in that video cutscene on one of these computers that I said reminded me of Dead Space. That was her. Some kind of parasite, yes she is. There's a song called Some Kind of Wonderful. There's also a movie called Some Kind of Wonderful. It's a good 80s movie if you like Molly Ringwald movies, you know, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, stuff like that. It's a good movie from that era. It has Eric Stoltz as the lead male actor in it. He played, he was in The Fly too. He's been in a lot of movies. But yeah, go check out Some Kind of Wonderful and the song and the movie. Both good. Alright, nothing else. See, you learn so many good facts watching my videos. You get expert gameplay, you know, where I take no damage, I never die, show you the full entirety of the game, and then I tell you about cool songs you can listen to and like cool movies you can go watch. You get it all here, folks. Welcome to Sevastolink. Most blurriest screen I've ever seen. I don't know what we're looking at here. It's not a screwed up screen. It's like a window that's leading into nothing. It's like they just forgot to put, you know, any space out there to look at or part of the station. Here's another audio. They don't name these things. They're like, you know, tape deck players, but they don't give them a proper name.
We should talk about what happened in San Cristobal. Now, it was a nasty business, and I understand that you want to deal with it as quietly and quickly as possible. But I wanted to make sure you didn't do anything rash. I'm talking about catching the specimen without killing it. If we play it smart, we could be set up for life. I have the connections. I can set it up. You're getting old, Wade, so you can't do this forever. And what are you going to do when Sevastopol closes? You have my number. Ransom out.
Oh, man. Take a sip of drink there. Ransom is a jerk. Okay, that's not powered on. See, you hear that? Like, is it because it's not because I'm interacting with it, it's because she's moving in position that triggers it. Yeah. I don't know if they did that intentionally or not, but you hear the door open as soon as you like look at the screen and you think something's coming after you. But okay, we got a box. Kind of hard to see. Well, not hard to see, but it's like right in the light. Okay, we can get in here now. Come on, give me something. What's the reason for being able to come in here? This door was locked before. There's no ID badge, like chilling on the ground. There's nothing on the wall. That's lame. I can't interact with any of these, so. Okay, apparently there's nothing in here. But in this level, which is, our mission is 10, we are looking for Noisemaker version 2 and Nostromo log 2. Okay. So she's not willing to let him out yet. He's just going to stay in there. Let's check out these other rooms. There's a computer in here. Something on the ground, an injector. What's this one got on it? First trap gone. Wait, we are a trap down. The creature set off explosives we set in habitation tower. And I'm hearing reports of damage to the space flight terminal docks. I don't think we put a dent in it. There's activity in San Cristobal, so maybe it's gone back. Find a way over to SciMed Tower Transit. Hope to God the sensors and medical reception are still online. Didn't mean to click out of it. Asset sheet. Cell 2 Marlowe Henry. Crime number. Indefinite incarceration. Cell 1 Mike Tanaka. So these are the other crew members, I guess. Or no, just other people. Crime number, drunk and disorderly, night in the cells to sober up, let off without a warning. Cell 3, Robert Webster, domestic indication or incident. Status released due to on-station security breach. Okay. So, that's it. There was item in here, but we still don't need it. I don't think I can craft anything else. Oh, if I can finally make a Molotov. Sweet. Means I can put all of these in here, and I can make another one. Molotovs, they're one of the better, besides, like, just double check all this. Besides using the flamethrower against the alien, I think the Molotovs are the next strongest. It's kind of like a, it's like a strong pipe bomb with fire, so... What does it say about it? The Molotov is an incendiary device which detonates on impact. It is lethal to humans and other organics, but synthetics are very resistant to fire. As a modified proximity device, it can be placed as an explosive trap. It doesn't mention how any of this stuff reacts with the alien. It just talks about the humans and the androids. I mean, it's still going to mess up an android. You might only need to shoot it once with your revolver if you've hit it dead on with one of these Molotovs. But yeah, their skin or their body outer body coating is resistant to fire, so it makes sense. Show you what they look like. Molotov's pretty sweet looking. Davin Rye. Finest straight rye whiskey. Sweet. It gets a cool little flame effect. Super cool. Yoink. I think there's an ID tag in here on the edge of a window, a two-way glass window. See if I'm right. Yep, I'm right. It's an interrogation room with one of those one-way, not two-way glass, one-way glass, where when they look at it, they just see their reflection, but the person on the other side can see inside the room. So, here's our badge, or ID tag. More loot. Unbreakable. Funny if Waits came in here and started yelling at us. That'd be kind of funny. Alright. just waiting for us to pick it up. So there's that. There's this. I think there's something on the floor. Yep. Bonding agent. So, the flamethrower.
Let's hope this thing works.
It's an animal. Animals are afraid of fire.
I hope you're right.
Okay. I mean, there is some scrap there. Don't know where everything is. Take a little drink. So we have 25 flamethrower loaded. We have 500 in reserve. So, but the problem with the flamethrower is it goes through fuel really quickly. I think there's a mod that.
I've got a plan to trap it. Take a transit car and meet Ricardo in the Systech Spire. I'll coordinate from here.
Go to Lorenz Tech Spire. Okay. So gonna unlock that door. Yep. Beep beep. The flamethrower is really powerful. It's really powerful against living things. Right, Barry? But it goes through fuel really quickly, so do know that about it. Double check in these rooms. And a side benefit of getting the Molotov, or having a Molotov and having the flamethrower, is when you are in dark spots, it will light the area around you. Not as good as the flashlight, obviously, but you can use these endlessly. I'd say, I mean, if you hold it up, it's a little better. It's kind of blinding you in the face using this, but you can use this in tunnels or dark areas, tunnels preferably, unless you want to have a Molotov out. But when you're in a tunnel or a dark hallway, you can use this to illuminate your path and save on burning up your flashlight batteries, or even having to use a flare, but it's up to you. We don't have every item in the game yet. We're still going to get a few more upgrades and at least one more item that we can benefit from, which I won't spoil yet. Go ahead and put those in. So we're doing, like, you know, perfectly fine on resources. Still locked. I think I looted everything out of that box. Nope. Now I did. It's like, really, you don't need to kill humans too much at all, if at all in this game, if you're just careful with your gameplay. The androids, that's another thing. Sometimes you're forced to deal with them, and they gang up on you, and usually you get killed, but you know, the objective of a stealth game is to not fight, not to engage in combat, even if it's there. In a game such as Styx that we just recently played, Master of Shadows that we just played, that's kind of like, that's a stealth assassination type game. It's a mix of both, but as good as that game is, and was, and is, it had piss poor combat in it. So, you know, they didn't even bother to put much thought in having good combat mechanics in that game, because they expect you to play it stealth-wise, and that's how this game's kind of expecting you to play, is stealthy. Let's stand here and look at him. Letting him know he's here. I think we got everything in there. Okay. Alright, nothing we can do now but leave, so I'm going to do that. Oh, he's on high alert. I would be too, if, and so would anybody else if they were in this mess. You don't see too many females in this game. That's another weird thing. I think it just did it there. Sometimes when you move in the game, like if you crouch and stand up or something, you'll hear the sound of opening one of those drawers to like loot something. And you'll also hear, let me get the flamethrower out. That sound you hear right there, it's like, it's not the flame, I think it's the fuel jostling around in the tank of the gun. But sometimes you'll not even have that gun out and you'll hear that effect. So yeah, there's weird audio glitches in this game, which is very surprising. I mean, just because a game has good quality audio doesn't mean that it was implemented well into the game that's playing it. So you can't blame the person that created the music for the game or the sound effects. It all comes down to the programmers putting it in so that, you know, when you go from one area to another, it seamlessly transitions and doesn't abruptly cut off or things like that. The sound effects sound fine, but, you know, they're glitchy. There's obviously, I mean, there's more glitches that I've uncovered just making this game for YouTube that I even knew existed in this game. Because I hadn't personally experienced them, but they're there, I guess. I wonder if that was there before. And I wonder if that was there before. I don't think we picked that up. I think we picked up something on the ground. Did I really miss all of that loot the first time around? I don't know.
Ripley, you on your way?
Yeah.
Ricardo's moving in ahead of you. I've sent your guy Samuels to Android processing. Once this thing's dead, I'm gonna get him to access Apollo and lift the lockdown.
Samuel's okay doing that?
Guy said he wanted to help and I have my hands full here. Besides, he's a synthetic. Should be easier for him to get in there.
I guess.
Look, Ripley, we're the only people standing between Sevastopol and outright disaster.
Outright disaster has already happened, Waits. All we can do now is kill that fucker.
I like Amanda. So I don't know if this stuff is respawned or what, but because I remember we did, there was revolver bullets here. They didn't, some of this stuff I may not have been able to pick up, so, because I remember us walking around here before in a previous video. Just double checking. So here I'm gonna get my flamethrower out. It's not really gonna help me here, but in tight corridors it would. Don't see anything. I don't think there was anything down here before anyway. So yeah, I would advise to save your flamethrower for the alien. Make this, you know, revolvers really only good for noise making or shooting humans. It's not really good for even shooting the working Joes. The Joes you want to give the stun baton poke and then do the flashy a few times, like 3 or 4 times. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 combo, whatever. So save the flamethrower for the alien because he don't like it. Somebody like took the time to paint a working Joe's head up here. It's pretty nice. Anything behind these? You can move some of these things. Just makes you wonder if there's ever anything under them. It's not lit up. Nope. We'll check that in a minute. If you see any doors like this that have graffiti across the front of the thing, you can't even interact with them, so just keep going. Can we get in here yet? No. I think I determined that was the Noisemaker version 3. I don't know which version we have. Or Noisemaker version 2. So we don't even have version 2 yet. Because when I looked at it, it has that speaker, which is what the Noisemaker looks like. So, yeah. I think I said mission 16 or something. We come back for this thing. Because we have to upgrade our hacking tool to version 3. Okay. So what's the map telling us now? Trap the creature. Waits has a plan to trap the creature, track it down in the Lorenz Systex Spire, and isolate it. We're going to get some alien isolation going on, so we need to go to our right. At least that's where it wants us to go. See, I could go back there if I wanted to. That one's offline. And I could go to the engineering decks if I wanted to, which I don't even know if we've been to engineering decks, because it's not very easy to negotiate these maps. It's only going to show me the maps for the area that I'm actually in, not throughout the whole entire game. So I don't recall if we have been to the engineering deck yet, or if the game's going to take us there later. This is where it wants us to go. Let me look and see. We're on mission 10. Nostromo log 2. Stepping off the train to the engineering deck. That's what we were just talking about. Enter the workplace solutions area. At the top of the stairs, enter the first door to the left. Hack the door once you get the right upgrade tool. Then check the terminal in the back left corner. So we could go there now, but I don't know if we have. He just says hack the door once you get the right upgrade tool. So I don't know if we have the right version. I guess let's go check it. I'm not entirely sure if we're supposed to go and get it now or later, but glad I checked the little write-up in that guide. I just kind of copy and pasted stuff in the notes on my phone. With the blueprints I'm looking for, I just know the mission they're on. I don't know in the version they are. I don't know exactly where they are located in the mission, but the Stromo logs, what I copied and pasted. What I copied and pasted in notes gives me a little write-up about where it's actually at. I did save, so... Still telling us to go to the other place. So we may have to get a better hack tool upgrade before we can get this log, but I want to check it. They let you go here, you know. It's just you might run into a locked place or something that you need that you don't have because they want to get you to go back the right direction. He may be active. I don't know. Let's look around a bit. that's where we need to go, so we don't have to go back there to go there. We can just take that one. Offline, Simet Tower, this one's broke. So we could go back there even if we wanted to from here. I hear some banging. I think he might be active in this part. Thing on the chairs. There's one of those robots, but he's off. We moved one of these in the early part of the game to get into a air duct, I think. So there's two paths here. Alright, we'll stop the video here. Reactor coolant plant. Yeah. We'll go down and see how far we can go without getting too far off the objective, because it wants us to go to the Lorenz Systech Spire to meet up with Ricardo, I think. I just want to see how far we can progress in this spot and if we can get the Nostromo log number 2. So thank you guys for watching, and
Fellow passengers, take your trash with you.
we come back in the next video, we will do that. So thank you for watching. Bye.